I'm here with Sirilak Cates, and this is episode 328. For everyone who wants to know what's the point of my talk show, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. But you should never give up, and you should prove to people you still amount to something. That labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, and you should break the labels. So that being said, a half hour, 40 minutes of your time. Could go longer than that, but see how it goes. And starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
Well, obviously was a single mother of four for many, many years. And for about seven years after my marriage, obviously I got a divorce. And then overcame that, still, even went to college and worked full-time as a mom. But I felt like there was something more, so I kind of kept searching and looking for what I truly have a purpose and enjoyment for. So, and then obviously through college, I got my associates in business marketing and management. I was actually a manager and trainer for AirTran Airways, so I do love the airplanes. That's one of my deepest love is airplanes. So, and then continued on, but I am a hairdresser. I'm a master stylist. I also do barbering, and that's my creative side, where I can kind of enjoy, get creative, and also as I make each person beautiful, it just makes the world beautiful one person at a time.
No, absolutely. Now, that's taking a look at me. Do you have different ideas for different hairstyles I should try?
Yes, of course. There's always options to make somebody's appearance even better, because not only does it make you better, it makes you feel better here. And I find that doing hair and makeup and even just everyday exercise, you feel that boost of confidence. When you get dressed up, don't you feel handsome and dapper, and you just feel that build of confidence, and you can face anything?
No, absolutely. Normally when I don't usually let my hair grow because it makes me look, I don't know, like I have mental problems, so I don't like having my hair poofy. so basically, I call it my it's a horrible.
God, no, I know you're handsome the way you are, yes. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Well, I was gonna say you can say I don't like having poofy because it makes me look like I have a disability. So make a long story short. So basically,
you're a handsome disability.
So basically, I just keep my hair nice and short, Occasionally I spike it up, but I like it looking professional. But you're a barber. If you have any tips for me, let's do this, or to try that. Maybe this look would get more people's attention. That look's not working for you.
I'll give you a little bit of edge. Of course, it would be my pleasure to help you through that.
No, absolutely. And now the next question I was going to ask you is, when you were growing up, were you a study nerd or party animal? And what made you decide to go into business for us and marketing?
Well, I started off a nerd. And then pretty much it was just I had my own little group of cliques where we were kind of a little bit of everything. And but technically I enjoy, computers. I enjoy technology. I actually still have the cover of the newspaper of when I actually did a computer. It was like a computer fair, and I was the cover of the front page. And that was back when the Commodore 64 was here. So I was creating programs. And I loved computers. I still love all my technology. And I just didn't pursue like project management or anything because I just never really found I found like a passion for it or an interest. So I just found a more creative side for me.
All right. Well, what about, did you ever do any sports? Were you athletic?
Yes, I was very athletic. I did basketball, obviously cheerleading, dancing. I enjoyed a lot of those things. And then I also was in ROTC, Air Force ROTC. I did that for years in high school. I enjoyed that as well. So I went from nerd to popular girl, and I switched it up. But I didn't care what anybody thought. I did it, and I wanted to do it, and nobody, I didn't care what anybody thought of what I liked, because they weren't the ones who were going to dictate my future.
No, I agree with you, and that's the point of my talk show. It's about labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. You just prove to them you can step out to something.
Yeah, and then of course my mother sent me to modeling school, and I still have all of my portfolios and stuff from when I was 15. And obviously I looked much younger and more, perfect. But as I grew up and I continued into the fashion industry, which I'm involved a lot with now, and then have, obviously some projects coming up, which I can't discuss right now, but it's actually a couple of them are pretty huge. So I just kind of channeled myself, and I don't limit myself what possibilities are out there in the world, and nobody should, and neither should you. And that's why anything I can do to help support you and get you out there and get you more interviews, even some of my great friends, that would be an awesome feeling for me to help encourage you as well. And I've already told many friends about your show already, Keith.
Oh, what was their response?
Well, they were inspired, very much inspired. They felt that, wow, it just kind of makes you wonder, they're struggling sometimes just to get that audition, but you're out there doing your thing, and you're putting a message out that's just absolutely astonishing, and it actually made an impact. And they've actually watched some of your shows on YouTube, and they said, "Sue, where did you find this, awesome guy?" I said, and you know what's funny? And I told everybody that you were local, and I said, and I commend you for, all of this, because not too many people with learning disabilities have that confidence to do what you do. And, it just, I just express how, just awesome that you are. And, being a parent of a child with disabilities, learning disabilities, I also wanted him to understand that, look, you can do anything if you set your mind to it. It doesn't matter what type of person you are.
No, absolutely. Now we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, I'm going to ask you some hard-hitting questions, and then I'll pass the show over to you.
Okay.
A message for yourself or as a gift for someone else. For personal connections, shout-outs, birthdays, proposals, weddings, and much more. Enter your details about yourself so the celebrity can record a personal video message especially for you, including details such as your name, age, birthday, hobbies, or whatever else you include. As soon as the video has been recorded, you'll get an email with your link so you can share it on social media or download and keep it. Celebrities record videos as and when they can, usually within 2 weeks. But if you want a video for a specific date and it does not look like it will arrive in time, you can cancel it and get an instant refund at the click of a button. There are hundreds of celebrities to choose from and many more joining every day. Search by category or genre, buy a gift voucher, get updates and offers, and encourage your favorite celebrities to join so they can connect with fans in a fun and unique way. Raise money for their charities and much more. So order your video now for yourself or for someone else.
I'm so bored. Want to see something really cool? Yeah! Now you'll never be bored again with Loot Crate, a totally bodacious mystery box packed with awesome toys, radical games, and other surprises. And the best part is, you can get Loot Crate delivered right to your door. So don't delay. Ask your parents and order today.
Everything okay in there? Yeah, everything great. I love Loot Crate.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 328. I'm here with the beautiful and talented Sirilak Cates. I just want to say thank you for sticking with us.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. It's an honor to be here for you, Keith.
One request I do have, it's cutting off the top of your head. Is there a way you can push the camera out a little bit?
Better?
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
I just didn't want to cut you off or anything.
It's okay.
Can you just like choke down, Will?
Choke down?
Yep, perfect.
Good.
Like I said, you know, I haven't done my interviews as of late, so I'm really rusty. But when we talked to Commercial Break, you were talking about some of these great ideas, and if you're okay with it, would you be interested in talking about it on the air? And is there anything you want to promote? Usually I'm going to ask hard-hitting questions, but now I'm going to pass this show over to you, and after you promote what you want to promote, then I can ask you the hard-hitting questions. Make it roll different.
Oh, okay. Well, currently, right now, I'm in the planning of a big birthday party. Obviously, my celebration birthday, which I collaborated that into a networking party. So with that networking party, it'll give the elite people in Manhattan to kind of connect, and also people like you who can also share your ideas and even market, get some business cards. But I would really like it would be an awesome thing for you is if, you know, I can even, you know, you can do some interviews on the red carpet. It is a red carpet birthday party of mine. We have Wendy Williams coming. We also have Chrissy from the show Love and Hip Hop. So that might give you a chance to kind of talk to her. And it will be a little busy. It is going to be quite busy, and I'm probably going to be running all over the place. But, you know, I obviously extend the invitation for you, and I think there'll be a great opportunity that you can also promote your show because you deserve that.
No, I'm very thankful, and I do my best to be there. You know, I do fight off, you know, I do have social anxiety, I do have panic attacks, and I am socially awkward. But the one thing oh, go ahead.
No, it's okay, and, you know, and whatever we can do to help you through that little, you know, those little bit of fears, take your time. You know, it's just a party, but at the same time, you know, people respect, you know, sometimes I get a little bit of anxiety and stuff, but because it's so overwhelming and there's so many people, even just to get through that birthday party is probably going to be rough for me to even get in all the way to my VIP section. So I understand the anxiety part. And then, but other than that, you know, the other stuff that I have going on, which is, you know, will be and I'd love for you to cover the next film that's coming up. I'll be the lead actress in this horror flick. Obviously, I'll be, you know, I will be going from normal to a demon. So, and that's created a trilogy, which the first one has been put into the film festival. So we're excited about that as well.
Oh, that's really cool. And if it's a possibility, I would love to be in the VIP section.
Well, let's see what we can do to get you over to the all these wonderful events, because, you know, again, when it comes to your show, you just don't give up, and I think it's a beautiful thing that you're doing something that you truly passionately enjoy, and you just keep going. You know, not too many people can do that, even with anxieties, disabilities, and stuff. And, you know, it's the same thing, I guess you can say, as my brother. When he graduated from high school, it was like a true inspiration, because you have children and regular everyday people that can't overcome what is wrong with them, whereas my brother is 90% autistic.
Right.
And he graduated high school, you know, and he worked for the football team. You know, he's a little OCD, but, you know, he's overcome it. He's proven to me that anybody can do anything just as much as yourself.
No, absolutely. And now, then you brought up a good point, and I just want to turn it into a question that, you know, I don't really do. I'm trying to get comfortable enough to approach people. If I make a long story short, when I worked in retail, unfortunately, I still do.
Okay.
when I first started in retail, I was horrible at walking over people. And going back, even growing up, I was anti-social because I have poor people skills. I didn't know. I had a fear of being rejected. And so I was never a part of any groups. And when it was part of the class, okay, go find a partner, go find someone to sit with, go and talk to someone. I used to step back and just watch, and I can't do this. Well, why can't you do it? Because I'm socially awkward. I can't do this.
Right.
And, go ahead.
And I find that the employment world doesn't have that sensitivity of what what the challenges are, and they don't understand that. It all comes down to the almighty dollar. Can you accomplish this? What is your commission? What is your numbers? But, again, it goes back to the, society today. Nobody really sits here and thinks to themselves, wow, maybe he does have some disabilities, but, in the retail world, they really don't care about that, and, it's just sad, whereas I think an everyday person like me can work a triple shift and just constantly grab people and help people, whereas some people have that challenge of the approach of the contact with the person. And, my son has that same challenge, and he's 21. So that's why he keeps his jobs, he's slowly getting into the customer service world, which is, quite challenging. So... And, he's coming out of his shell a lot more. So, and I, obviously encouraged him to, work on his people skills. Sometimes going to simple support, like even if it's like a social life app, going to meet people, going outside of your comfort zone.
Right.
So I'm trying to encourage that. It's helping a little by little, but society doesn't give that enough of that out here, whether it be in the workplace, in school, or everyday living, and people need that today.
No, I agree with you, and it's about kicking yourself in the ass and saying, if you want something, it's not going to be handed to you, and even if it is being handed it to you, there's always a catch to it. So if you want something, kick yourself in the ass, motivate yourself, saying you got to set a goal and you got to reach it. Like I was saying, I worked over at North Face. So when that was my first job. Long story about that. But basically, when I worked there, I used my badge as an excuse, saying, "Hey, my name is Keith. If you need anything, let me know." And going back to your son, if he's going to work in retail, the one thing I would recommend is do what you love and feel comfortable in that store.
Of course.
Because when I was at North Face, my disability didn't really show. Occasionally it did, but I was a great one of their best salespeople. If I hesitate, I apologize. I was one of their best salespeople. I knew the merchandise. I was always going back and forth, making sales. Everyone thought, I was smoking crack or cocaine because I was constantly moving back and forth. I had ADD, so I can't stand still. So I was constantly
Of course.
going around and around like a rabbit. So basically,
Wow.
it was a great store, but yet there were times where I worked in the store and I'm like, why am I here? And I set myself up for failure. Perfect example for that is, I worked trying to find. I worked for trying to find something that I won't get in trouble for. I worked for certain.
Yes, you have to be careful with that, right?
Right. I worked for certain companies that didn't really understand. Okay, this is a perfect example about breaking labels. This one job, my dad wanted me to work, at occupations. And occupations is basically job coaching. They got me a job at North Face to help people with disabilities. Basically, what occupations is, it's job shadowing. It gives you the training to hold down the job.
Okay.
And it gives you the experience of going out and in the workplace. Also to do job placement. So I didn't want to go back and work with them. Because I wanted to prove to people I can get a job on my own. So I went to this one place, horrible, horrible store. I can tell you off the air a lot about it. And every time I messed up, and I told him before he hired me, going on the record, I do have a learning disability. And I'm capable of doing something, but I learn at a slower pace. Oh no, that's not a problem. He brought me to the warehouse. He stacked up on the dolly, and I knocked the boxes over, not deliberately, but by accident. And he went, Jesus Christ, why do we hire people like you? And then I heard them...
Acceptable. That's unacceptable.
No, absolutely. And my favorite, I'm being sarcastic now, my favorite thing that I was always told when I messed up in that store, why I left, I just couldn't take it anymore, it says, we don't know how to deal with people like you. So
I would have challenged him and said, okay, what people is that? What type of people is that? Where are you putting me in a category? What's that category? Please help me understand. And because that would have been a challenge that I would have expected an answer for, because that's just not fair the way you were treated. I mean, that's unacceptable and unprofessional.
Yeah.
Unprofessional completely.
You know, the one thing I do like now that seems to be my new addiction is I don't do drugs, but my new addiction is I like being in center of attention. And that's one reason I like a talk show. But I like being the cashier because two things about it. One, it works on the people skills. And I know how to be a cashier and everything. It's fun. And it's easy for me to do when it's comfortable. But the other thing is, for the selling, you look back when I worked over at North Face, I was one of their best salespeople. I sold jackets left and right. Someone said, "Can you recommend me this or that?" I'm like, "Yeah."
So you knew your product,
right? And then, but there were other stores that didn't like the fact I had a disability or I didn't know the product. So there's a couple places I set myself up for failure. And I still kick myself. It's like, why did I even go? One job, they basically guilt trip me and saying, make a long story short, the guy liked me. He wanted to give me a job. Hiring manager did not like me, did not like the fact I had a learning disability. So when he wasn't around, she talked down to me. So I said, I don't care if this is a high maintenance store. I'm not being talked down to. So I got up and left. Of course,
you should not have to tolerate that type of treatment.
No, absolutely. And it's basically, if you're going to do something, make sure it's what you want to do, and then there's no surprises.
Okay.
And before I pass the show back to you, is when you're talking about selling, and when selling / interviewing, to be completely honest with you, I can't sell my way out of a wet paper bag. And that's why when he said, oh, you can do the red carpet events, I don't think I'm at the level where, and I don't know why it's echoing in the background. I do apologize for that. It's Skype.
It's okay.
And when you say, oh, you can come to the red carpet event and interview people, I'm still working on approaching people. I give you a perfect example. Going back to my first job, I had the badge, so I had an excuse to walk over to someone. So over the summer, I wanted to look for, it's my way of flirting with girls. I'm an idiot. But it's my way of interacting with people. So I would walk over to people and say, hey, my name's Keith Andrew. Here's a business card. And I was doing that in the mall where Woodbury Commons. I would walk around on a nice day and shake people's hands, introduce myself. And I was like, okay, if I can do this, then it's not really hard. But at the same time, I was being rejected and my nerves were shot. But, when it comes to the red carpet, I do want to take the next step because I'm constantly evolving, Just because we're doing this interview today means the next one I will do will be a better, and then it's going to get better. And my people skills are going to be better. And I would recommend this to your son, if he has social anxiety, then he should just put himself out there and say, I don't know, I like doing artwork, then just talk about art. Or if you like wrestling, just talk about wrestling. So basically, if you're passionate about what you're doing, then you should put yourself in a situation where, yes, you're able to get out of it, but at the same time, where you feel like you're in control, and this is your time. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I agree. Even if you want to, sometimes starting off and me recommending interviews, from the birthday party and encouraging people to, do an interview with you in small steps, that's fine too. I think everybody has their limits, right, and there's time for everybody to grow, but everybody grows in different phases. Some people excel a lot faster, and then some people need more time. And that's okay with you because, look at you now. You're still, you're over 300 interviews. You should be proud of that.
No, I do. I take a lot of pride in what I do. And I think the next step before I do red carpet events, my next step is, because I am working on my people skills, is to get a studio. And, it's great, yes, we're doing interviews over Skype, but wouldn't it be nice if we were in the same place at the same time?
That's true.
After I do the interview a couple times in person, then I will feel comfortable taking it to the next step. I just don't want to jump into something and then I look bad, or I make you look bad.
Of course, you want to take your time and be smart.
Right.
And do it in your own comfort zone. And that's good because even having a studio, at least in the studio, it's not overwhelming with another 500 people.
Yeah.
So sometimes the crowds are very overwhelming. Trust me, they can be very overwhelming. Even Fashion Week is overwhelming for me sometimes. And you spend so much time trying to get out while everybody's, with me, I always try to get out as people try to pull me in, like, okay, got to talk to you. It is. And I can understand that, especially for you. And a studio, I think, would be the next step and the next level for you to kind of creep out into those people skills, and you're in a private entity. So, and I think that's a great idea.
No, absolutely. And I'm not turning down the red carpet event. I would love to do it. If you throw opportunities at me, I will take it. I don't care if I have to get Xanax or something. If you give me opportunities, I promise you I will take it.
Okay.
Because if you turn down opportunities, then you're going to live with regret.
Well, yeah, and you don't want to have any regrets. And there's always a red carpet out there, and most of them are networking events, and you just never know who you're going to meet. Sometimes they have more smaller and private ones, whereas my birthday will be a very private one. Of course, and other actors and other talented people are inviting their friends along who are also in the industry as well. So that kind of gives it's all mostly focused on business, entertainment, and networking, and to brand yourself, and you're a brand. You're the Keith Andrew Show. So, if whatever we work out, it'll happen. Don't worry about that. And I'm going to be there to, support you, and everybody that I have in my circle is very supportive, and they'll be very patient with you as well.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I do have a couple questions for you off the air.
Okay.
And now, with the last 7 minutes left of the show, I'm going to pass it over to you. Was there anything you wanted to promote? Anything you wanted to ask me? This is your time. No hold barred. Whatever you want to talk about.
Thank you so much, Keith. I do, mostly I'm a huge supporter for Autism Speaks. So I've been a supporter for many, many years, because my brother, obviously, he is 90% autistic. And, and I just never, I encourage people to really be aware of autism and, and acceptance. So that's been a huge project for me. And I've been working, I actually have a film coming up, and we're actually going to put my brother in it. And it's just showing that autism, is out there. So it's supposed to be a movie of the history of how autism originated. And then also, we have my Red Party event. So with that Red Party event, it'll be a lot of encouraging, positive people, bringing your brands, introducing it to each other, people networking, supporting each other, and then also sharing it on their Facebooks. And there'll be a lot of photography, obviously Telemundo, you have the New York Post, and several, obviously, celebrity appearances that will be coming along over to the party. So, but again, you can find me on Sirilak Cates, and you can find me, I have 2 pages, so you guys can catch me on there and see updates and what's going on. And so each of my guests to get in. So with that said, that $20, I'm also turning around and donating it to the Wounded Warriors Project. So that's a project for all of our soldiers that have been injured in war and their families. So I'm also giving back at the same time, because my father's a retired disabled veteran. So it's a passion for me.
You bring up a good point. And, I didn't make a face. I do apologize.
Okay.
And I was joking with this person I know. And she does the same thing you do with the whole marketing. What is your opinion about the whole... Well, first off, if you serve in the Army... Well, first off, thank you for your service for your father. I appreciate him giving him this service. But what I was going to ask you was... There's a lot of people that would say the Wounded Warrior project is a scam, it's a front. Would you, because I know I'm on the outside looking in, what is your opinion about the whole thing? Do you think that, first off, it should be paid by the government? If you serve in the Army, the government should take care of you. No excuses.
The government should be taking care of our veterans, period. They go out, they serve, protect, and they go on the front lines for us to give us what we have every single day, is that freedom of speech and that freedom and that safety, feeling that we're going to be safe.
Yeah.
And I think, as far as the Wounded Warrior Project being a scam, I really can't really speak on it, because I'm really not really familiar I remember hearing about some scams and some things that have happened, but from what I understand, it's been restructured and changed. So I know I have the Wounded Warrior Project, one of their representatives there, and I did specifically ask about making sure that I got verification.
Yeah.
I want confirmation that this is being accepted, and any type of receipt or showing that I've made this donation and because of all the past history. So, and the representative completely understood this.
No, absolutely, and I give you a perfect example. The people, doing a scam. And first off, if you use me for a perfect example, this is not a scam. I really do have a disability. And I will take this to the grave with me because I'm very passionate about what I do, and I refuse to give it up for any reason.
Of course.
And we remember during Hurricane Sandy, they had on PBS, public broadcasting, they had an event where the Who came out, and all these different bands, and people were donating money.
Right.
And it's like, where did all that money disappear to? Okay, yes, you went to the performers got paid and whatever, but didn't the bulk of the money go to the people in need? And then it's kind of like it got up and it disappeared, and that's where when you see those public broadcastings, it's a scam, or the Wounded Warrior stuff, it's a scam. Because where is the money really going to? If it's actually going to the cause, then yeah, I support it 100%. But if it's going to be, little for me and tons for you, and the rest of it's got to be swept under the rug, then it becomes questionable.
Right. Well, I'm working on right now, actually, one of my really, really great friends, and his name is Colonel Gatson. And I want him as a special guest coming from West Point. He's a West Point graduate as well. Went to Afghanistan and lost both of his legs. And I commend him because he actually did Battleship with Rihanna, the film. And again, something you never expect that a person can do, they can achieve it. Even overcoming adversity of war. But he's one of the most beautiful people that I can ever imagine, and I'm working on getting him as a special guest and speaking about the Wounded Warriors. And, I'm trying to also get a representative for the Warriors Special Olympics as well, because they have that every year as well. And it brings tears to my eyes to see how you've got a man who can swim, 5 miles in like 2 hours, and I can barely swim across a pool.
Right.
So it just shows the strength and and the passion behind a person, even with them being injured from something so traumatic. So so I'm working on getting him involved, and of course he will be part of the verification that the money will be going to the Wounded Warriors.
Now, the last 2 questions I've got to ask you is, now for the party, I know you want to promote your birthday party. And the first one is, well, let's gotta make a joke. It's like, you say how old you're going to be, but you don't have to answer that. But I was going to ask you, what are some of the big names where you got to be there? Is it got to be like J-Lo, Will Smith, professional wrestlers, Ronda Rousey?
Well, we do have, which is supposed to be a surprise to me. I know there'll be 3 big guests. One is a professional athlete. One is a professional athlete, and there's 2 other guests. It leaked out to me, but I'm not going to say it's true. But it was hinted out to me. Beyonce and also Paula Abdul.
Oh, that's nice.
So, yeah, so, I don't know anything. And hopefully But I know that's just supposed to be a quick appearance because obviously somebody is, with them with so much success and everything, they have to go from point to point to point. So, so that's the leak out that's supposed to happen, but I'm not supposed to know about it. So.
Well, going on the record, I always say people should be humbled. I know money goes to people's heads, but I already made a game plan for myself where, yes, I do want to become an A-lister, B-lister, C-lister, whatever, but I'm also going to be the same humble person as I am. Yes, I may walk the red carpets, do these special events, but I'm also going to be the same person who works in retail because I don't feel like change. And the last question I was going to ask you is, a lot of people change who they're going to be, but I think that if you stay who you are and you stay humbled, and of course, yeah, you stay hungry, but if you stay humbled, you're going to last a lot longer, and people are going to remember you than saying, okay, I'm here for a couple minutes, give me the money, and then I'm going to get up and leave. You shouldn't really change who you are, because when you first go and I'll give you a perfect example. I'm a nobody. I'm on the independent. But it doesn't matter if I go and be on the red carpet or whatever. I'm still gotta be the same person with a disability who has a dream, and it's all about grabbing the brass ring. It's saying, I did not change for you. I did not change for him. I am, from the day I was born to the day I die, the same humble person, but I will always be.
Amen to that. I'm going to be the same way. Even, I see people, and even my kids say, Mom, who doesn't know you? And I'm still that same person. I'm very humbled by, being not judging anybody. I go grocery shopping just like you.
Yeah.
I go, wash my car. I get my oil changed. I do all these things, that everyday people do. But I also, in the years I lived in Cornwall, nobody, exactly knew who I was. Now, I go into town. It's like, wow, congratulations, on your success. I've been following you, but I'm still the same person. I'm not going to change who I am, even if I hit, A-lister status. To me, it just, it's just the heart of the fact that money can change you, and money can be evil, but it also can be helpful. So, evil, I find greed is evil. You want more status and keeping up with the Joneses. No, I would still be in my same little home, a little kind of nice little Cape Cod, on a nice piece of property, and I would still be the same as everybody else.
No, absolutely. Now, before I ask you the last question to wrapping up, I do want to promote one thing. I want to promote my fan page. So I decided to start creating some items. To make a long story short, I want to go to Comic-Con, and I wanted to go. Basically, I asked to do a Q&A. I just wanted to go walk and talk, do a Q&A, and said, well, you may not do a Q&A, but you can get your own table for free.
Okay.
And I turned it down this year because I said, no disrespect, but I'm not ready for a table. I don't have anything. I don't have shirts, hats.
Right.
What do you got? Business cards? People are going to look at it and be like, you throw it away.
Right.
So next year, going into next year, on my fan page, if you go to facebook.com, KeithAndrewNetWork.com, I have a couple of shirts, and I'm taking pre-orders as of right now. There's 19 different women's shirts, so there has to be someone you would like at 19. Oh, I hope so. There's 19 different women's shirts that I designed personally, and there's 8 shirts for the guys. And For a perfect example, it has the KeithAndrewNetWork on it. So for an example, there's if you're Jewish, there's one with a Jewish star on it. It says KeithAndrewNetWork Jewish, and what that means is I support the Jewish community. And there's another one that says KeithAndrewNetWork, and it has the cross on it, and that can either be for the Catholics or the Christian. And it says KeithAndrewNetWork supports the Christian and the Catholics. And then there's one for the Army. It says it's KeithAndrewNetWork Air Force. And why? Because the KeithAndrewNetWork supports the Air Force. So basically, I'm doing different things, different ideas to show people that I'm humbled, that I'm respectful, and it's just seeing what people would like. Now, with that being said, wrapping up the talk show, when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your honest opinion? And after this hard-hitting subject we just talked about, because I know you liked the Wounded Warriors, and I didn't mean any disrespect by it, but after being interviewed by me, do you feel the same way or do you feel a different way?
Do I feel the same way about you?
Yes.
No, I feel stronger. I commend you, and you have a lot of strong points, and you have a lot of, topics that you really want to get the word out there for everybody all over the world to know that, how you feel makes a difference, and in America, we all have opinions, and sometimes those opinions, we respect them because, like I said, I agree with some of the different topics you talked about tonight, and I think it's huge. And you keep conquering these different challenges that even with you having a learning disability, it's only going to get better for you every single episode.
No, absolutely. And, I don't know if it's faded in and out on your side, Skype, Skype, you gotta win or you gotta lose. But I think the next thing before doing any other events is try to save up money and get in a studio. I think that will boost capability, so that makes any sense.
Yes, and you know what? And in time, I'm sure that's going to happen for you. And if there's anything I can do to help support that, I'm there for you 100%, Keith.
No, stay tuned. I do have a couple questions for you off the air. But wrapping up, it was a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest. And I'm looking forward to doing a part 2 with you.
Okay, I look forward to doing the same, and it was a pleasure being here with you. And I want to, let you know that anytime, anything you need, I'm here for you.